Oh my goodness, hello everybody. I am so sorry I was a little late to the party. Thank you to everyone who's been just kind of sitting around and being patient for me to make it home. But I'm here. I'm here for our losers quarterfinal matchup between PouletSansTete and Shauny7188. I am unbelievably excited for this matchup in particular. I'm incredibly excited. So, if we've got echo, I can switch over my mic real quick. Let me know if it's a little bad. I can fix it and it'll take me about 10 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this? This should be a little bit better for everyone. I apologize. I still have not soundproofed my basement very well, and I just set myself up with a stand mic, and it reverberates like crazy. All right, so here we are. I'm incredibly excited for this matchup. We have Shauny against Poulet, like I said. I happened to match against Poulet a little bit ago. Thanks, guys. I love it. I appreciate all the wonderful words of encouragement. Yeah, no problem. Give me just a second, guys. How we doing? So, for any of you who aren't familiar with how this game how this game works, this is Azure Dreams. This is a roguelike tower climb, obviously. That's what roguelikes usually are. It's 40 floors. First to the top wins. However, getting to the top is usually never going to happen in a race like this. This game is notoriously difficult. You are traditionally the weakest monster in the tower. And most things are going to be able to one or two shot you without much of any issues. So, first floor is always a tutorial floor. It's always the same for both rounds. Got 5 items, and then they're going to get to floor 2 like Shauny has here, and they're going to start seeing the game a little bit differently from each other. Give me just one moment, I'll commentate some more here in just a second. Alright, so we're going to start with both, unfortunately, fighting some pretty tough monsters to start with. You want to hit level 2 pretty quickly, which both runners fortunately have here, because you'll start at 16 HP, and then by leveling up you'll immediately gain an additional 10 HP and go to 26, which is unbelievably helpful. Almost doubles, obviously, your HP, which is insane. One troll, which is the little guys with a little hammer on their head, is enough for 1 full level up, which is usually the first enemy you want to see. Quick guarantee, easy level up. Unfortunately, both found flames pretty early, which have more HP, deal more damage, and actually have a ranged spell, and somehow give less experience, which is not what you want to see at all. But they may do. So to go over some real quick things, probably what you're really going to see on these first couple floors in particular, is you're going to see them explore the full floor looking for items. On these first 2 to 5, you're usually able to handle anything without any issue, which is really nice. No real monster poses a huge threat on early game, so you're going to see our runners explore the entire floor, trying to build up their arsenal as best as possible. As in with most roguelike games, your items are really key here. Without good equipment and without a good item, you're really just dead in the water from early on. So our runners will explore as much as they can as these first couple floors before they start really being outclassed by the enemies, and then you're going to see them start to go for elevators in particular. I don't think I mentioned this because I was trying to set up my mic at the time and got semi-distracted. This is a 1 hour best of 3 match to see who can get the highest in the tower before they die. So part of it is building up your arsenal so you can make it higher, and then part of it's going to be knowing when to kind of switch your strategy into specifically trying to climb floors rather than looking around. Oh, I just noticed over on Poulet's side, he has actually found a Paralyze Wand. What you see both runners doing right now when they attack is do Mixture Magic. What that is your familiar throws a spell onto your attack, and then you hit the enemy with it. It takes up both your monster's turn and your own turn, but it traditionally deals a lot more damage in one shot. It also makes your attack elemental, so you've got both of them doing fire-based attacks right now, which are more effective against wind monsters and less effective against water monsters. Mixture Magic is preferred because it's the only real way to deal significant damage on an early game like this. And the nice thing about Mixture Magic is if you find a wand, like Poulet has in his Paralyze Wand, it's a flat 25% boost to your damage as long as you're using Mixture Magic. In addition, that Paralyze Wand has the added benefit of occasionally paralyzing the enemy that you attack. It's fantastic. You can never really count on the paralysis. It's maybe a 5% chance, but it's just an added benefit in addition to getting the increased damage. Really, you will start seeing, though, both runners, specifically Poulet, even when he has a wand, trying to look for another wand. He's looking specifically for either a life wand or a scarlet wand, and Shauny's doing the same. He just hasn't found any wand yet, so he's looking for any wands right now. The life wand does a really good job of, for every 8 damage, you get 1 health, rounded up. So if you do 8 damage, you get 1 health back. If you do 9 damage, you will get 2 health back. It's a really nice way to keep yourself kind of topped up on health, and still do quite a bit of damage. Most people, though, will almost always look for scarlet wands. Reason being, yes, wands deal your percent increase, but like I said, their mixture magic is elemental based now. It is a fire-based element attack. If you find a matching element wand, in this case the scarlet for fire, it's going to deal 25% on top of that. So, and it's not 50% flat. It's 125% for the wand, then 25% for that for the scarlet. You almost double your damage by equipping a scarlet wand versus just using a standard sword. So both runners will really be looking for any wand possible, but specifically scarlet wands. And then any kind of better shield. Poulet has found a live shield that is a defense of 5. The wood shield is a defense of 2. So he's increased his defense by 3, which doesn't sound like a lot, unless you realize that that's the difference between you taking 8 damage and 5 damage. And that's astronomically huge when you have less than 40 health overall. That's literally the difference between being able to take 8 hits or 5 hits. So the better defense they can get, the earlier, the better they're going to be overall. So Poulet has found his shield. Shauny has equipped a wooden wand, so he's got that nice damage increase as well, just like Poulet does. Poulet just has the ability to occasionally paralyze. Other than the shield, they're both pretty much on even footing right now. They're also going to be looking for scrolls, which they can use to attack monsters or do nice beneficial effects to themselves. They're going to be looking for certain fruits that they can throw at enemies to debilitate them in some way, shape, or form. And then mainly, you're really going to see them looking for magic balls on the ground. Those are spell balls. Those can have a variety of effects to launching ranged spells, attacking spells, or putting an enemy to sleep, blinding them, paralyzing them, spawning an ice rock ball behind you or an ice pillar behind you to distract enemies, anything. And the nice thing about these is they traditionally come with anywhere from 4 to 8 charges in them. So while some of your scrolls and things like that you can throw once, and then the item is gone, your balls will work for multiple uses. I know. Poulet just showing off kind of the paralyzed wand there. Got that paralysis on him in water monster, so they do take a little bit more to kill. So getting a paralysis on them is fantastic. It stops you from taking a little bit of damage, and it doesn't matter how many turns you take to kill them because they can't move. Razor Knight, the seeds. The seeds do a variety of effects, and it really depends on the ones you're talking about in particular. Most runners will pick up a Mazar seed, which is a guaranteed instant level up for either you or your familiar, your little monster following behind you. Most people will use it on themselves just to get the extra health, increased damage, and increased defense. You have Mahale seeds, which will allow you to move at double speed for 4 turns. So you get 8 movements of double speed, which is really nice. But my personal favorite, which is almost exclusively useless unless you're running in a sitting like this, is a wind seed. Now, a wind seed will change the elemental status of any monster that you feed it to wind, making them incredibly vulnerable to fire. You can feed it to your familiar, making him wind. Fairly minimal uses, but it could come in handy. What's better is to be able to throw it at an enemy monster, changing them from either fire or water to wind, and then making them that much more vulnerable to your attacks, turning a 4-hit monster into a 1 or 2-hit monster, which is really beneficial on some of the higher floors. Poulet has just hit floor 6. This is when sometimes you'll see runners start to explore less and less. We like to call these the water floors. Almost every single monster you will find on floors 6, 7, and 8 that are dangerous and can do high damage are all water-based. You have your Manovas, which Poulet is fighting right now. You have Blooms, which are the green balls with a flower face. And then starting on floor 7, you'll find the dreaded U-boat. Anyone who plays this game hates U-boats. They're way overpowered, have a little bit more health than your average monster, and decent defense. However, they have a special ability that allows them to submerge under water or literally underground. And there's nothing you can do to bring them out of that. So I would say 7 times out of 10, a U-boat will always get the first attack on you, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. So, you know, your 2-hit U-boat, which means you would normally take 1 hit, you're guaranteed to take 2 at 11 plus every time you run into one, and that adds up quickly. Thalfon, if you change Kune to Wind, you will have Neobrid, or Noabrid. I don't remember which one. I think it's Neobrid. It is still a ranged attack spell. However, it stops leveling up. If you change the familiar, the element of your familiar, his spells stop leveling up anymore. If you then change him back to his normal element, they'll level back up at twice the speed until he catches back up to where he is. But most people traditionally will not, in this type of a setting, change the element because you lose out on that extra elemental damage. Exactly, like Sand Knight said. There are certain times it can be handy. If you're really hitting your mid to high water level floors, which are 25-ish to 28, and you really aren't doing much damage with Mixture Magic anymore, and you want him to be able to do, you know, direct attack damage, changing him to Wind isn't a bad idea. But for the most part, it's really, really hit or miss. I personally don't like to do it. I will almost never change the element of Kune in any of my runs. But there are people who I've seen who like to do that, Shauny being one of them, actually. I think he's softened a little bit on his incredibly attack-focused playstyle and is definitely using Mixture Magic more and more as time goes on. But he was one of the biggest proponents of turning Kune to either water or wind around 18. He loved doing that. Poulet showing off one of my favorite tactics in the game, being able to pick up a monster. There are a lot of monsters in this game that you can actually lift up, and U-boat dies via retaliation. There's a 50-50 chance of the monster allowing you to pick them up. If you fail, there's that little shaking animation, and you put them back down on the ground, and you lose their turn. The enemy gets a free attack on you. However, if you succeed, you can just walk around with them wherever you want, and then throw them as far away as you can. Really nice if you don't want to deal with one monster in particular, but still want to be able to move around. So Poulet has kind of gotten himself into a couple unfortunate... his health isn't great, so he's had to scale the floors a little bit faster than I think he wants to. He hasn't really had a chance to explore anything on 6, 7, 8, or 9, which you don't really ever want to too much, but you definitely don't want to be forced into scaling the tower as quickly as possible, if you can avoid it. Shauny's kind of got the same thing going on right now. He's got 2 blooms. Luckily, one of them is asleep, but Kune unfortunately keeps attacking the one that's asleep. You've seen the blooms do a couple times on each side. A little move where they shoot just pollen in your face. And that's their brainwashing ability. It's horrifying because it turns your monster against you. And if you take in a really high-leveled monster on these lower floors, they turn against you and they can one-shot you. Luckily, Kune has a trait, which is unbrainwashable. Which, hey, what do you know? He's the only one we can have right now. So anytime you really want to see the blooms do brainwashing as much as possible, it's the one move they can do that will never affect you. So it's free turns for you. You really want to see them do brainwash as much as possible. Ghost Wizard, there are 40 floors in this tower. You'll really start to see the difficulty ramp up past 15, I think. Most runners in this... Oh. See, like I said, Shauny has already changed Kune to wind or water. I didn't see that. When did that happen? Oh, he must have found a C seed and a light seed and didn't care. Okay, so he fed him the C seed to change to water just so he did a little bit of extra damage to that Minova, found that light seed, changed him right back to fire so he's going to level up like normal. That was pretty good. That's a really nice way to be able to use something like that for just a couple turns here or there. Poulet has just hit 10. He has found crossbow trolls. Those are trolls that actually have ranged attacks with their crossbow guns. They can hit you up to, I believe, 6 squares away. They will always attempt to shoot at you and not your monster. So with that knowledge, you can do a really good job of kind of manipulating it to where they have to walk closer and closer towards you and never can really get a free, easy shot off unless you're surrounded by more than one monster and don't have that option. But usually crossbow trolls are one of your lesser intimidating monsters on these floors, and they have a great, give you a great amount of experience. So a lot of runners in the 10, 11 range like to kind of grind a little bit and get a couple levels up. Shauny is kind of in trouble here. I don't think he's going to have any issue getting out of this, but I think he's going to have to burn through a couple more resources than he'd like to make this work. He's got a U-boat behind him. He's got a bloom in front of him. He's going to... Ooh, the U-boat didn't go for the free attack, and I think even he's confused by that. But he's going to down the U-boat in 2 shots and move on. Didn't even burn through any resources. Yep, Yaffy, they do not aim for your familiar. Well, I shouldn't say that. They'll aim for your familiar if, like, they're close and that's the only thing they can hit. But if they are a couple squares away from you and you move in such a way that they only have a shot on them, they'll actually try to move to get closer to you instead of actually taking the free shot on your familiar. And by using that, you can manipulate them to get close every time, which is really, really nice and really, really handy to be able to do. So right now we're seeing a lot of the same from both runners. They're both clearing their individual, I would say, groups of floors. Poulet is doing the 10 and 11. It's a very small group of floors, but it's a 2-set group that we call the fire floors. And then Shauny is doing the 7, 8, 9, which is mostly water, but with some wind, which is really, really nice. So without fun, standing behind your familiar doesn't necessarily work. If you set it up to where they are close right next to you, and they're within 1 square of your familiar, they will shoot at your familiar, like Sand Knight said. So it's not like you can just wall yourself behind a familiar and they're always going to try to move around you. If they're ever 1 square away from anything, they'll shoot at that. So it's not foolproof, but it's helpful. Poulet just switched out his live shield, which is a defense 5, defensive 6. Every point into defense or attack matters in this game. Even though there's a chance of it being cursed and it being a -1 or anything like that, he still wanted to take that chance and just eke out any individual set of defense he can. And there, like Fia said, Shauny has found a Scarlet Wand. As you can see, he just dealt 33 damage to a volcano. Now, granted, he has the high ground, so he deals a little extra bonus damage, but even still, a lot of that is from the Scarlet Wand. No, it definitely just seems like there's more. Sometimes you'll never find one. There are other times where they'll just seem to be everywhere. In a more recent speedrun I did for bookless percent, which means you want to be able to escape the tower, you need to be able to take multiple trips. I was on floor 19 before and I still didn't find one. I had to find other methods to escape the tower. Ooh, Poulet just found the blue collar. I'll get into that in a moment. But no, there's no one thing that causes them to spawn or not spawn, whether you have one or not. It's entirely random. They're just much more common than other things, and the higher you make it, that's how, you're just seeing more items in general, so you're more likely to find wind crystals. If you run from 1 to 5 and you can't get past 5, you're less likely to see wind crystals because you're not seeing as many items as everyone else is. Poulet just picked up the blue collar. That is a very special one-time item. It always spawns on floor 12 without fail, and it allows you to bring out 2 monsters at once. It also unlocks the incredibly powerful fusion ability. In this type of a gameplay setting, very few, if any, runners will bring out 2 monsters at one time. More often than not, you will see a runner find an egg that's really beneficial, that has a really nice trait, that they will then fuse into Cune to making him stronger, whether it's a clown to give him double magic, or a Arachne to give him double attack, or a block to give him double defense. I mean, there's tons of different things that you could fuse into him to make him stronger, and that's almost exclusively the use of the blue collar in this type of a run, because you don't have enough time to make two monsters powerful enough to be worth keeping out at one time. Really, Sand Knight, it actually didn't spawn. Like, you checked the entire floor and it just wasn't there? That's crazy. I've never seen that happen before. But, who knows with this game? It could be anything and everything at the same time. Yeah, agreed, Hex. You fuse double speed with a Picket and he just burns and really doesn't make it beneficial for you much at all. So you've got Poulet there. He just used an exit loop that gives you the location of an elevator. And normally you would think, why not save it till a higher floor? These floors are so painful to go through that most runners will burn resources trying just to get out of there if they can. Oh, wow. Okay, so Olim and an egg. That's a really good room for Poulet. I'm very interested to see what that egg will be. Olim is a very nice item. You throw it at an enemy monster, and it vanishes forever. Oof. Dream and egg. Yikes. That's rough. That is not what you want to see. And a balloon egg. Oh no. He maybe got the two most useless monsters that you can find in egg form. Almost exclusively, those are probably going to be egg bombs. Oh no. That Kraken just hit. Cune for 22. Okay. Shauny, it was still one shot, so Shauny was able to take care of it. I was worried he was going to lose Cune right there. Ooh! Woke up right as Poulet got there for that sword troll. Sword trolls are very, very dangerous. They have high attack power, and the sword itself actually ignores the defense of your shield. It doesn't ignore any bonuses. So if your shield is +8, it can't ignore that +8, but if it's a steel +8, it will ignore the first 6 of that, and then the +8 will be effective. Unfortunately, in a run like this, we really only have our base shields, so it ignores almost all defense we have, so it's always going to deal somewhere between, I would say, 17 and 20 anytime we hit these floors, making it probably one of the most dangerous monsters we can run into in early game. Shauny firing one of his favorite things. Oh no. That didn't work? I think he might be slightly confused by that. The poison didn't take. Wow. I've never seen that happen before. Ooh. Poulet walked right into a Garuda. You can tell by the mini spin there, he was not happy with that. So, all said and done, I mean, we're almost 30 minutes, and the runners... This is kind of exactly what I was expecting going into this. Two amazingly competitive, skilled, and experienced runners really pushing this game to its limits, and each other to their limits. Ooh, Poulet made a slight mistake there. Probably wanted to move Cune so that troll wouldn't try to hit him, but that's okay. He blinded him and wasn't able to take, or didn't end up taking any retaliation damage, which was nice. So blind monsters will just walk in a straight line and will never actually go out of their way to fight anything because they can't see. But if something blocks their path, anything blocks their path, they will attack it. And depending on certain manipulations, if you play it just right, you can actually get enemy monsters to attack each other because they don't know if what's in front of them is you or a tower monster. So sometimes you can get a little bit of extra benefit out of a Blinder Ball. Blinder Ball is probably, in my opinion, the most potent spell ball in the game because it affects every monster for at least 6 turns, and you're never going to see really anything be able to take less damage from it, take extra damage to it, be debilitated, and everything's going to run away from you. That being said, my personal favorite is Ice Rock. It's come in handy more than I can count. Ooh, Poulet is real... no miss there. Okay, good. Poulet didn't get a miss because that would have ended his run. Playing a little risky here. I think that shows the amount of respect he has for his opponent. Not even bothering to take the medicinal or anything else that might guarantee his survival, and instead knows he needs to move and maximize every resource he has. And a balloon on Shauny's side as well, of course. Why wouldn't we have that? And he's just clearly ecstatic about that. Floor 16. Floor 16 is kind of a special floor. It's got an enemy called Barong. And there he is! Wow, Poulet found one early. You can throw any item in the game at the Barong, and it will spit out any item in return. There are items in this game that are considered rare or more rare than others. Barong doesn't care about that. It's got an equal chance of spitting out any single item in the game. So it's by far the best way to find your more rare items if you can. So most runners in this tournament setting, if they have the ability or time, will try to do something to get some items out of a Barong. Unfortunately, he's also got a Manova right there with it. So he's gonna egg bomb it. Good call. I like that move. I think that's a good call. The Barong's gonna take one step closer, and then he can finish throwing it. I like that. That was a good play. I liked that a lot. And then he gets free experience for wailing on it because it's out of MP. And as you saw, that's 256 experience for both Ko and Kune for that Barong, which is amazingly high amount of experience for an area like this. So anytime you get a free chance, you'll burn an MP, you'll get nice free items, it's rare and helpful, and then you get a nice set of free experience and take no damage back. So any Barong you find is usually extremely helpful in one way or another. Also, I apologize. I tend to speak like people know about this game, so if anyone has any questions, please feel free to bring them up in chat. I'll do my best to answer them however I can. Otherwise, I'm just going to talk my face off. Which I'm going to do anyway, but at least you might have a better understanding of what nonsense I'm spouting. Alright, we've got Shauny getting ready to go up to 16 as well. 32 minutes in, both runners are on the exact same floor. Also, it's important to say that in this format, as you've seen Shauny in chat, our runners are allowed to stream watch. So they can see where the other is and how that may or may not affect how they play and how they run. Will be interesting to see. We've got Poulet, who's found another egg, but based on his luck so far, I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be a troll egg. Picket egg would be equally as useless right now, for sure. Also, floor 17, as you can kind of see, is a pretty special floor for multiple reasons. It actually has the ability to spawn all 3 troll types in the game. So it can spawn troll swords, crossbow trolls, and hammer trolls, which is really nice free experience. Wow, what an item room for Shauny. I didn't even see what he got out of it. But it looks like he left a lot of really good stuff behind. So he's either tapped out on items. Oh, wow. And both runners find an immediate elevator on the team. That's crazy. Poulet's has a little bit more difficulty behind it, but both are immediately... Now you're going to see a whole lot of pickets, and they are nightmares. You always hate dealing with them. They're super annoying. They never really deal more than 1 damage, but they move twice for your tier once, and they can steal items from you. So unless you can take them out in 1 shot, there's a good chance they're going to steal a really important item from you, which is never ever a good thing in a run like this. Oh, I didn't realize Shauny's iron was cursed. That's probably why I didn't go for any of those shields. Oof. On the high ground, that Arachne still dealt 19 damage to Poulet. That's how strong those monsters are. There's a reason that they're the big egg you want to find in this game. Whether to hatch it on its own and kind of keep it around with you, or to fuse into Cune to give him double attack. Either one. Poulet is our first runner up to 20. This marks the halfway point of the tower, and just past the halfway point of the race. They are both on amazing breakneck paces right now. And this is where you really, really, really start to clench down a little bit. This is when you become much more aware of every step you take, every resource you spend. Everything here is terrifying for the remainder of the game. With maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, there's never anything you want to run into anymore. And it's going to be that way for the next 20 floors. I'm surprised Shauny's taking a little bit of time here to hatch this egg. I don't know where he's at with MP recovery, but I really assumed he was going to keep that egg for a pita fruit, so Cune doesn't run out of MP and higher up. Oh, and it's a picket egg. The reason that's big is because that is Shauny's self-proclaimed favorite monster. I bet you he doesn't do anything with it, though. For his self-proclaimed favorite, it doesn't have really any purpose in this type of a run. So we'll see what he does with it, if anything. That's right, Heckbird, you did call that. Heckbirdo. That was a good call. I don't know what you win, but you win something. Poulet showing off the blinder ball. That Viper is now completely incapacitated and will be no threat to him anymore. That one, however, might be a problem still. And he blinds this one as well. This is interesting. I didn't think he'd burn through so much so fast. I figured he'd back up, try to take the high ground, and get a little damage done. Ooh, bad call. Wow! So he blinds it and still tries to deal damage to it. That's very interesting. I wonder what his thought process was behind that. Did he not realize that hole was too wide and he could have just it? I'm not sure. That's interesting. I would definitely say that was the wrong play to use that blinder if he was just going to attack it. But ooh! And Shauny is in a double Viper room. I love it. I love that move. Anyone who didn't just see what happened on Shauny's side, That was an amazing, amazing play. He has 2 Vipers. Vipers want to eat eggs. So if Vipers are in a room and you throw an egg in the room, they will immediately just beeline for the egg to eat it. I believe that was the Palumpa egg, Dreamy. And he just basically double egg bombed 2 Vipers with 1 Palumpa egg. That was really good heads-up thinking. I'm very impressed with that. Oh. And Shauny has just switched Kune to water. That's very interesting, because he's got his Scarlet Wand. So, while that's nice, he's definitely not going to get an attack benefit anymore from that. I don't know if that was the play to make there, because he has no way of turning him back to fire. I don't think he has a Light Seed anyway. And there's all 3 Vipers. Yikes. Poulet burning another Star Glass. He wants to see the whole floor on where Shauny's at, and is really, really, really trying to get moving. Oh no. Shauny is in trouble here. I think he's about to get pincered by the rest of... Oh, there's the... Oh no. The paralysis trap right before the elevator. Oh no. Oh. Shauny is down Kune. That's bad. That's really, really, really bad. He lived, but he lost. He definitely didn't. Ugh. About as bad as it could have gone without dying, for sure. But he is still alive, and who knows what he can make do with this. Poulet, meanwhile, is up to 25. He's got a 3-floor lead on Shauny right now, and still has Kune, and spawns in an item room with the elevator. So he can pretty easily make it out of here. Every monster on these floors, well, most monsters on these floors in the 25 range are going to be wind-based. You're not too scared of many of them, but there are some of them that can still be a little terrifying. Yeah, Seawalker, if you hold the select button, it brings up the minimap, and then if you hold it even longer, it'll actually fully encapsulate the whole screen and kind of fade everything else to black. And Poulet picks up the Scarlet Wand on 20. Does he want it? And he gets the Scarlet Wand. Oof. So that stealth is on that space with the magic ball. It turned invisible and moved there. You can tell because of how the block moved. Otherwise, it would have stepped right on that magic ball to get close to him. Poulet is really struggling to figure out where he's at. I don't know how he's so confused by this. It's clearly right there. Oh no. He needs to... Oh man, I thought this was going to be an easy out for him. He might actually have to burn quite a few resources to get out of this now. He burns the acid rain ball to get rid of the stealth that was pretty easily findable. That is a mistake I would not have expected him to make. And it didn't even finish him. So both stealths are still alive. Oh, wow. And Shauny takes the lead. Shauny's up on 26 with that struggle Poulet had there. That's shocking that he had such an issue with that stealth. Even if he had lost track of where it was, you can easily tell where a stealth is based on the direction the cloud appears when he hits you from. So it was pretty obvious it was attacking him from straight down there. just from where Ko would flinch from and where that little cloud effect would spawn from. Oof, and he is in another rough spot with some zoos here. You definitely don't want to fight zoos if you can avoid it. I don't think that Dreamin's going to be able to... Yeah, that balloon should probably be able to successfully egg bomb. Yep. So Shauny's showing off one of the nice things you can do with an MP-less monster. That Brong was out of MP. He put the Brong down in a one-lane hallway, and when a monster ran into it, it turned around and went the other way. Shauny then picked the monster back up and continued down that hallway. If he throws him here, he'll actually... Ooh. If he had thrown him, he'd have been able to actually block him off there. But he waited one turn too long, so that snowman will not be able to block him off there. Nevertheless, it served its purpose. Shauny finds the elevator, and both our runners are now on 27. Again, within about 10 seconds of each other here. This is quite a race. Oh, what a lucky warp trap for Shauny. Getting that Mandara out of the way, and also being able to self to another spot in the tower, or on that floor, hopefully finding where the elevator was. It didn't work out that way, but he then found it pretty quickly afterwards, so no real harm. And again, within about 15 seconds of each other, both runners are on 28. This is probably the longest I've seen two runners so neck and neck for a race like this. They are both just right there, start to finish. And see, that's the move I think Poulet should have done when he was going against that Viper. Just take one step out of the way, the Viper moves on, and no issues. Ooh, Shauny's dealing with two killers right now, and Annapolis in the room as well. And he hits a bump trap. Bump trap is one of the most useless traps in the game. Its only purpose is to wake up sleeping monsters, which there's almost rarely ever any when there's a bump trap, and it wakes up the Annapolis. Ooh, Poulet is in a really rough spot right now. He's probably going to want... Oh no, I don't even know what to do here. Use the wind? Maybe? I don't think that's going to do enough. Nope. And I think that's it for Kune. Oh, Poulet loses Kune as well. They're both on 29. Oh no. Uses the flame ball though and drops the snowman. Oh, and Shauny walks face first into a Manova. Oh. He's going to have to bind it and get to the elevator. Poulet hits 30, and Shauny is going to be, again, 15 to 20 seconds behind. This is unreal. I mean, I knew this race was going to be close. But this has still defied my expectations. With all the RNG, with everything that's happened, both runners are neck and neck right now. Unfortunately, Poulet not being super careful about where he threw that holy and blocking off that hallway for the killer to follow him, so he actually has to go back the other way so he doesn't lose the only ally he has on this floor. Shauny as well. Oh no! Shauny's getting pincered by two killers. I don't know what he can do here. He can try for the... Yep, he's going to try for the binding. He's got to hope it lasts for 2 turns at least. And it does. So he's able to make it past. Oh, man. Both are being chased by killers. Oh, and Shauny's got another killer coming up in front of him, too. This could be it. This might be the end. I don't see any way out of this for him. And it's a Viper! And he can't survive the hit. It deals 66 of 65 health that he had. Kills him by 1 HP. That was a race. Now, that actually gives Poulet the win. Poulet did hit 30, I believe, before Shauny did. But with Stream Sync, I'm not too sure. We can always go back and rewatch it if we need to. I don't believe you did, Shauny. Unless Stream Sync is way off. Poulet beat you by about 12 seconds to 30. So I do believe he actually takes this. I'm going to see if he can make it to 31 anyway. But I do believe he has you regardless. He does. He made it to 31. Perfect. This is no longer going to be... What a game one. Holy cow. That was unbelievable. And what a way to end it with the Beldo cutscene. I love it. Absolutely love it. That was an amazing game one. Both runners just showed out, and this better go to game 3 is all I can say. Unbelievable. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Our runners are going to take a very short break, and then we're going to continue with game 2 here in just a moment. Oh man, I am in shock myself at how amazing that race. That was, both runners were neck and neck the whole time. Oh, I loved every second. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I believe we're getting dual audio from somewhere. A very short break, but I'm not sure where. With game 2 here in just a moment. Let me real quick. Oh man, I am in shock myself at how amazing that race. That was, both runners were neck and neck the whole time. Oh, I loved every second. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Poulet, stop it. I believe we're getting dual audio from somewhere. A very short break, but I'm not sure. Poulet, knock it off. Whew. All right, both our runners are ready. All right, here we go with game 2. Hopefully it lives up to everything that was game 1. That might be impossible. Nevertheless, they're going to try for us. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, good. Shauny fixed his timer. I was worried he wasn't going to catch that in time, and I was going to start it up myself, but he made it, and we're good. Shauny, as always, just gifting us with the great names. And Poulet just going for Bob. He's done with the finicky shenaniganry. It's just Bob this time. So we have 5 minutes, 4 minutes of void to fill right now. What does anyone want to talk about? Everyone having a good day? Alright, I won't give you 3 more minutes of silence. So in Game 2, it'll be really interesting to see if Shauny adjusts his playstyle. One of the few reasons he lost, he had a good chance of actually winning if he was first to 30. He was not, and it'll be very interesting to see if he starts to prioritize speed, especially if he knows they're going to be this close. Especially with them getting to 30, 31, 32, 33, when every step is just a mile. I'll be really, really interested to see if he prioritizes going, or if he wants to make the cautious stay back moves and would just rather sacrifice speed for more longevity and hopes he can outplay Poulet at the end. I don't think either of these runners are really someone you outplay. I think you have to hope they make a mistake and you can capitalize on it by not making mistakes. Poulet definitely made a couple that last run, as did Shauny, I believe. So neither one tended to bite them when they made the mistakes, so it's hard to say how that affected the overall outcome. But they both seem to be a little bit like nerves are getting to them. Seawalker, most important thing for new runners. I don't want to say this like this. Join the Discord. See all of the resources we've kind of poured into it. There's nothing but tutorials, item lists, guides, how-tos, helpful hints, things like that. And as Sand Knight said, learning your movement, making every single step as important as possible. Every turn in the tower, especially above 20, is a vital, vital thing. And by maximizing the turns you have, that's the best thing you can do to keep yourself running long term. You can do a lot with bad luck by maximizing the things you get. And movement is something you can always do a better job of maximizing. Even the most experienced of us will look back and see what we've done for certain races and have gone, oh my goodness, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I, jump this way or move Kune there or things like that. Movement is never something you perfect, but it's definitely the easiest and most important thing to always improve upon, in my opinion. Again, floor 1, tutorial floor, they're going to get a copper sword, wood shield, a fireball with 5 charges, a medicinal herb, and a Pulenpa egg. That's what you will get every time. The copper sword will never be cursed. Same with the wood shield. So they have 2 attack and 2 defense to start the game, and have a magic ball with 5 charges. So they may burn those early, depending on what situations they get put to right away on floor 2. Traditionally, you want to hold on as long as you can to those charges, but survivability on your first floor is of the utmost importance. So most runners will not hesitate to one-shot a monster if they're in a disadvantageous position when they spawn into floor 2, for sure. Alright, and Shauny's heading up to floor 2 here, so we're really going to start to see kind of how the game's going to treat him this time around. Ooh! Immediate bomb trap. Clearly not great. That is a lot of damage you don't want to take. Poulet definitely in a much more pleasant situation with two noise monsters. Those are probably your easiest to kill monsters on these first because they are wind, and so by dealing fire mixture magic, they're one shot. Unless you're Shauny and they deflect your attack. He's... Oh no! This is a lot of early misses. This does not bode well for him. He's really struggling to get this first level. He's actually having to run away from the noise, so he doesn't die. Luckily, he did make it to level 2. He didn't have to burn through any of his fire charges, so that's about the best you can hope for. Oh no. I didn't even notice on Poulet's side, Kune has 1 health left, and so he had to burn that fireball charge to guarantee the level up so he doesn't lose Kune right away on floor 2. So while Shauny was definitely in the worst position to start, Poulet actually had to do a little bit more, and Shauny steps on a warp trap. Yikes. Kune is now gone from him. He is going to... And a blind trap! What is his run right now? This is unbelievable. This is the worst early game luck I've ever seen. Wow. And Shauny says goodbye to floor 2. He cannot get out of here enough, and I agree with him. That's actually really surprising as well. So Shauny equips the Dream Wand. It is a water-based wand. It actually makes your mixture magic weaker if you're fighting wind monsters. It'll make it slightly stronger when going against fire monsters. But seeing as how last game Shauny was stuck with a cursed iron shield almost the entire run, I'm very surprised he so quickly equipped this Stream Wand with the chance of it being cursed and being stuck with it long term this time as well. Luckily it was not cursed and he doesn't get bit by that, but it's a pretty surprising risk. I did not think he was going to take that. Shauny finds a trap loop. I'm surprised he hasn't already used it. After that last floor, I would do everything I could to make sure I know where every single trap is at any given moment in time. But like I said last time, these are the floors that most runners are before getting up to the water floors 6, 7, and 8. Wow, Poulet burning fire charge on a cyclone. That's surprising too. Finding a Seal Wand, equipping that, luckily that wasn't... Seal Wand has the ability to seal a monster. I don't know if I've ever seen a moment where that was actually useful. The only time where I think it could be useful is if A, you're fighting a block, or B, you're fighting a Nile, and you don't want them to be able to heal themselves. Other than that, it's just basically, it's a wand. So... that was interesting. I wonder why he did that. Shauny just put Kune away just to bring him back out. And traps galore again for Shauny. As you can see, Poulet just successfully stopped the Cyclone from using magic. He does not have magic, but at least he can't use it, I guess. Ooh. Poulet finds a steel shield. He's got to be very happy with that. So that's a really good early game boost to defense. Earlier you find a shield better, especially a decent shield, to really maximize that difference in defense. That flame was dealing 6 damage, now it's only dealing 2. Early game, that's a much better percentage decrease than, late game when you're taking 22 and instead you only take 18. That increase in defense doesn't matter nearly as much as that at that point. So luckily, Poulet finds a good shield early on in the game. Poulet finds a Blizzard Sword. Interesting pickup. He's probably going to hang on to it in case he loses Kune, but probably won't be equipping it. Not too much going on either side right now. They're both just trying to build up their inventory. I would say Poulet has the slight advantage here, but not by much. And again, it's still very, very... while you do want to see a really nice loadout early game to really, build your confidence for late game, what you have now is pretty minimally important. What's more important is what you can gain over the next, probably I'd say 10 or 15 floors, and what you're forced to spend along the way as well. If you're forced to burn most of these really nice early resources before you even hit 20, anything you find here is not going to be beneficial at that point. Ooh, Shauny finding an acid rain ball and another block. Wow. And he's actually going to pick up the Gulf Wand, it looks like. Wow, that's surprising. Nope, he's not. I thought he was going to with that, with him freeing up an inventory slot with that herb, but apparently he just doesn't like having a full inventory right now. Surprising Shauny's not choosing to fight this Manova. No, don't do it. He misses the Gulf Wand by throwing it early, and just decides to heck with it and goes up the floor anyway. Poulet and or Bob just found a Shimuro seed. That increases your defense by 1 permanently. Well, at least until you leave the tower. But for all purposes, in this type of a run, permanently. Very, very nice to have. Like I said, every point of defense counts, especially early game. Poulet definitely seems to be struggling a little bit with his movement. Surprising. That's definitely something I've always felt he was really, really good at. But he tends to be walking into a lot of enemies, positioning Kune poorly, so he's getting hit first. I don't know if it's nerves getting to him or what, but his movement has definitely been what I would consider subpar, probably, so far in this match. Now both of our runners are on 6 in the good meat of things, the water floors. As you can see, Poulet burned a treasure loop, so it shows him where all the items are on this floor. So we can quick make a beeline for those rooms in particular. See if there's anything worth getting out of here while also actually spending time on this floor. I'm not quite sure why Shauny has switched back to his copper sword here. I really feel like that stream wand is going to be beneficial. What is going on here? Shauny launches a Brid spell? Wow, I really think both of these runners are kind of feeling the effects of... These are what I would consider really poor decisions. I mean, it is just me. Maybe I'm not... Really, those are the best situations for those, but their movement in general has seemed really poor today. So you've got Shauny up on 8. He's right in the thick of our water floor. Bloom, Manova, U-boats. Poulet just hit 7, so he's going to start seeing U-boats here as well. But he does have his Paralyze wand. If he does have to fight one, there is a chance he could paralyze it. And oh, all those water monsters right there. No. It's elevator time. There is no point in sticking around and waiting. Oh yeah, definitely understandable if it's getting to him. That's what I was saying. If it's not nerves, I don't know how to explain, what I'm kind of seeing here. But this is, especially for Shauny right now, he's got to win out or he goes home. Like, this is the end for him. This is the end for both of these runners if either one loses. So, while Poulet does have the 1 game advantage, I think he is very aware that that advantage can slip away very quickly. And so he wants to capitalize on this, and Shauny definitely doesn't want to lose out 2-0 here and go home early. Shauny up on 10. At 20 minutes in, it's a pretty standard pace. I think that's pretty good, all things considered. That is an early burn of an acid rain ball. Wow. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if Shauny saw this, but I definitely saw it during the rotation in of this floor. There is an egg on this floor. It'll be interesting to see if Shauny saw it, which it looks like he's making a beeline for where I believe it is. So I think he saw it as well. So he's probably going to really try to pick that up if he can. And there it is, Poulet's Paralyze wand coming in clutch, paralyzing, take no damage easily. Shauny definitely picking up that D curse. He does still have no usable shield other than the wood shield, and still has. So he definitely wants that D curse scroll in case he gets forced into a suboptimal equipment setting here. Wow, lots of stream wands for both of these runners right now. I think that's the 4th one I've seen between the 2 of them. Poulet steps on a confused trap, not great, but these monsters aren't terribly dangerous, and he snaps right out of it with the 1 hit from the Dream. So that was about as harmless of a trap as you can find in this game, I would say. Shauny gonna be up against the Dreamins here. Not too bad. Oh, but he's not super excited about that. Surprised he didn't use the Wind Seed to make sure that that Fireball was going to be a one-kill, but I think he knows that with the Fireball plus a Mixed Magic attack or a direct... Oh no, he misses. Oh, and he's got 2 more Griffins by him. Shauny is in a really unfortunate position right now. He definitely wants to just run if he can, but he's coming up on another Crossbow Troll. I think you just take the hits if you can right here. I mean, I know you're going to take a lot of hit. Oh, Tuna Fruit's also a good call. He's really, yep, I was going to say, he's really hoping to find that elevator. And get out of here. Poulet, kind of in a rough spot too. You definitely don't want to be stuck with too many of these monsters in a row. He's going to take another hit here from that Crossbow Troll. But he should be able to escape out of this without too much more damage. Definitely nothing life-threatening, I don't think. Especially if he's got a Medicinal Herb as a backup. Shauny is just really getting crushed with misses here today. Specifically in this game. He has had quite a few, especially this early on. And Shauny's just accepting it. Shauny is accepting the wood shield, burning his blue sand on it just to get that one extra piece of defense. The Great Toddman, yes, there's a giant group of us. We have a whole Discord dedicated to this game with over 150 people in it as we speak. And this is our first inaugural tournament of many more yet to come. We are in our losers quarterfinals. There are officially only 5 more matches in the tournament remaining, but all of them between very, very experienced runners. So this has been a blast for all of us, I think. And Poulet picking up an egg on 11. There's definitely potential for a clown there, which would be very, very... there's also early potential for a Nile, which is really nice because that's basically a portable healer for you, if you choose to use it that way. Oh no, and he hits the Warp Trap! Oh, this is the really bad floors when you want to hit. Oh, no, no, no. You never want to hit Warp Traps on these floors. These are dangerous. It's one step away from you. Oh my gosh! His Kune is a beast! What is this? Takes out the volcano and the Crossbow Troll. No! He makes it there one turn in time. I can't even tell what's going on with the stutter, but it's so exciting. I cannot believe what just happened. I don't even know what just happened. Awesome. Kune held his own. I assumed he was going to die. Not only does he kill 2 monsters, he still somehow makes it out alive. That's hype. And I know Poulet breathes a sigh of relief, even being forced into... Why did he throw a light seed at the volcano? That's interesting. But it paralyzed it, so he gets a paralysis off on it. And Shauny is just hitting elevator country right now. Ooh. And there's an egg. There is a great many things this could be, all of which are fairly useful right now. Also, the Great Toddman, as we have said, we do have a Discord, which has tons of fantastic resources in there that I have just linked for you. I don't know if Garuda was banned. I didn't get a chance. I've been at work all day, so I don't know if Shauny or Poulet made a decision on that. But that could be huge if this ends up being a Garuda for Shauny. He's definitely going to start the hatch, and we're going to see. Oh my goodness, and Poulet gets another paralysis. Oh, you're right. Shauny pulled the Garuda last time, but didn't use it. Yeah, I think that means they definitely decided on Garuda. There's no way he would have just let that go if that was the case. So, yep, it is definitely banned. Light Seed on the Manova. Oof, still deals insane damage. Oh no. All of these misses. What's going on? Oof. Shauny's getting really unlucky with these attacks this round. I'd be interested to see if he picks up that Blizzard Sword and equips it. There's the Barong Shauny's been hoping for. But he's also got a Garuda right behind him and a Manova right. And the Barong just woke up. Oh no. So if he throws the Barong, the Manova's going to get a free attack in on him. But if he drops it, the Barong and Manova are going to get a free attack in. Oh, he can't be excited for this right now. That's the downside to picking things up. He has about 12 different options to get out of this. All of them involve him needing to pick something up first and throw something, which he can't do with the Barong in his hand. So he has drastically reduced his options here just by the fact that he picked up the Barong before these enemies showed up. So that fireball is out. I believe both his fireballs are out. Nope, that one's got at least one charge left in it. Oof. Shauny cannot be happy with what's going on right now. And he's got a bow troll coming in behind him because I can talk well. That fireball's got one more use at least. And I think he's gonna bring... No. He had to run through 3 fire charges. Wow. Oh, and there's the elevator for Poulet. It's not a great room, but if he gets out of here without any issue. He's gonna try to fight. I don't know if I would go with that. You've really got to maximize your resources here, and burning through on a floor you could have easily escaped may not be the best one, but... Because now he's stuck here in this crack trap, and now the Garuda's woken up as well. Shauny's going to try to get something useful out of this Barong for all of the heartache he put into it. I can't tell if I don't know if he got that steal from him, or if he's just had that for a little while. If he got that steel shield from the Barong, that's not a bad outcome. I think that would have been worth it. Alright, Poulet has to burn through quite a few resources just to end up walking to the elevator. It's not optimal by any stretch, but who knows if that extra experience is going to come in handy later on as well. There's a lot of things you can do here. He's letting Kune fight for him. Oh, he does have the recovery ball. I did forget about that. Okay, that's not a bad call there. Just getting a little bit of extra experience. Shauny has unfortunately been stuck on floor 16 for quite some time. And he hits another warp trap! The traps! There's no way Kune survives this time. There's no way. Nope. And down he goes. Poulet hits another warp trap as well! Back-to-back warp traps. Oh, but Poulet has the familiar bell. Okay, so there's... Luckily, Poulet had the right item for that. And Shauny, as usual, doing his trademark check-in whenever he's heating up an egg. He's got some time to kill, so... Clearly, you seem like you're doing great. Your run seems to be going great. You're not missing any attacks. Alright, let's see what Shauny gets. I think he's got a hope for probably a Nile at this point. Oh, and it's his second Garuda! After banning it, he's pulled back-to-back Garudas. Oh my gosh. I don't know if he'd regret banning it. I think he realizes that if he hadn't banned it, he wouldn't have gotten either of them, because the tower has not been friendly to him at all. If Garuda wasn't banned, he'd have pulled, I don't know, a Picket and a Mandara. Something fairly useless on both of them. If Garuda wasn't banned, there's no way he pulls two of them. There's just no way. The tower isn't that nice. Yes, and we did see one of the fabled 2 elevator floors. They do happen sometimes. Other than just being interesting, there's nothing they really do. Other than make you choose which one you want to go up to. Oh, and the Picket takes the one of the few things he definitely didn't want that Picket to take. That Fireball's a 3. He's still got 3 uses left out of it. Mandara's not bad. Using his Confuse ability is nice. But he definitely won't last more than a monster or 2, usually, before being killed. So you see Poulet doing a lot, which is really, really nice. When a Picket is following you, you just change Cune's AI to 1. Cune will just stay there and fight the monster next to you, and the Picket won't chase after you or... And Cune deals a ton of damage, and he usually 3-shot the trolls. Or the Pickets, I mean. And yes, Ghost Eye. Your experience is split between you and your monster, and then it's cut into thirds if you have 2 monsters out. So technically, if you're by yourself, yes, you get double experience, but it's actually, if you have your monster out, I mean, it's halved. It's, oh no, Shauny's between a rock and a hard place. A spider and a spider place. Oh, he gets the lucky second pickup. Oh no, oh no! But a Picket hits him and makes him drop it. Oh no, is the Picket gonna chip damage him before he can get to... Oh, and the Picket backs off, but that Picket could chip damage him before he gets to the elevator. Oh, thankfully, he actually gets to block him off with the Arachne. And it doesn't matter because he's still chipping away. Oh, he finally steals something and goes away. Oh, Shauny is just gotta be at his wit's end right now with how this tower is treating him. And now with a wee dog, a Picket. Oh, And just, it feels like Poulet's got everything and get out of it. Kune's down to 1 MP though. Yeah. Poulet noticed and is giving him a pita. Poulet is blind, but he's just waiting out these turns. Yep, no real issue there. Luckily, Shauny's able to burn his fire crystal, get out of that room without taking any damage, which is very, very important. And again, Poulet's Paralyze Wand coming in big time. Oh, and Shauny finds one as well. Honestly, I think I just hope I can get lucky with a paralysis in the... Never mind. Guys, Pickets are the best monsters. Ooh. Arachne did not like being lifted. He is going to bind it for a guaranteed paralysis and finish it off here. However, Shauny is 2 floors ahead right now. We're 37 minutes in. He's got a 2. If he gets a lucky set of floors, he can still pull this game out. I mean, you're up to 21. Ooh, that's not what you want to see as a start, though. Oh, he gets lucky. They both go the other way. Now here you're going to see Shauny do something that a lot of for monster manipulation to kind of do. To best explore a floor, you're better to follow the monsters. Because if you're following behind them, you're not going to run into them. So the more time you can spend following behind them and going into the rooms they're going into, the more knowledge you're getting of the floor layout, while also minimizing your chances of running into monsters you can't kill. So that's what he was going to do there. Unfortunately, he also had 2 monsters come up behind him, and he wasn't able to continue following. But that was the attempt there for sure. Poulet has made it up to 20. And Shauny is just... He lost his Pullenpa via the other Pullenpa. Oh, wow. I've never actually seen that happen. Shauny doubled back and made the Viper hit the Pullenpa. Huh. I didn't know he'd do that. Oh, and there's another magic ball right there. Shauny not even taking the chance. You'd think he'd have walked up, seen if he could have picked him up, and then thrown him to save himself that fire spell. But he burned it early, and he's not even gonna go... Oh, it's a Viper, but... Burns it for the 1 damage. Yikes. 31 on a Blaze Ball. That might be a 3-shot. Nope, 2. Okay. Thankfully, he did not need to burn 3 charges for that, but he gets a Pillar Ball out. Incredibly useful. That's the strongest Fireball attacking spell in the game. So, the Blaze is, I believe, the weakest. And then so the fact that he was able to use 2 Blazes to find a Pillar is definitely a very, very good outcome for him. You'll take that trade every time. Shauny's up at 23 and spawns in an item room. Unfortunately, it is mostly coins, a useless wand, and a useless shield. So, he didn't get much out of that, unfortunately. Oh no. Got that Viper coming up on him. I think you used your Pillar at this point. Nope, okay, he's gonna keep going for that Blaze. I don't know if he had used it any other time, so maybe he knows for a fact there's a charge in there, because every ball you find comes with at least 4, so if he hadn't used it yet, it was guaranteed to still have that at least 1 charge left in it. So maybe that was his thought process there. Oh no! Poulet steps on a slow trap. It's Shauny in the face of another Viper. I think you gotta try to pick him up here. If it fails, you can go for the pillar ball. I think you've got to go for the pickup here to try to somehow save. Yep, and there he goes. He went for the pickup and got it. Ah, and he gets a poison trap. But he's got a cure-all herb, so he's fine. One of the few times a cure-all herb has actually come in handy. And then, yeah, he's absolutely using that pillar block, so taking no chances there. So, Shauny used a treasure loop. He doesn't use that to find out where items are because he wants floor. He's trying to find where rooms are located on the overall floor layout. So those items... Oh no. This is a terrible grouping of enemies. Nope, that's the wrong... Oh no! We've officially learned! Stealth aren't 100%! Stealth aren't 100%! If you can pick them up. Oh no. He's gotta hope this block doesn't paralyze him and that he can pick up. That's gonna be back-to-back really difficult. Oh no. So he's gonna pick up the Viper, which... And down goes Shauny on 23. Oh, what a rough tower visit. So Poulet has to make it to 24, and he is going to be winner today. By no means guaranteed. I would definitely say it's most likely going to happen. But, man, I don't know if I've seen someone fight harder against a bad tower RNG than Shauny did on that run. That was brutal. That was painful for me to watch. I can only imagine having to play that. Well, he has the level advantage, he has Kune, he has much better items across the board. This is a run that I would feel for Poulet would at least make it to 30 pretty easily. We've seen with Shauny. I mean, you step on one bad paralysis trap, one bad warp trap, one bad blind trap, and the game doesn't care. But Poulet, unfortunately, also has an exit loop for Shauny. He's got Ice Rock, and he's got Olim, and I have a very strong feeling Poulet pulls this out. Poulet taking no chances. And there's another Olim in the room. Oh, man. Yeah, that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. GG's to Poulet. Again, taking no chances, swinging on every step right before it. And we have our winner, PouletSansTete. Losers quarterfinals match. GG's in chat for him. Alright, I am going to send our runners an invite. See if we can get him in here for some post-game commentary.
Hello.
Every step right before. GG, Shauny.
Was it?
I mean, it was the G'est of G's you could have done with that.
It was a game. It was one singular G.
Oh my goodness.
It was possibly I did my best. Don't get me wrong. I'm really happy with how I played.
Unquestionably.
But the tower just did not want me to move.
Oh my god.
Hello.
Hello, winner.
Hello. GG's,
winner chicken, technically.
Oof, thanks, man. It was terrible.
Oh, it was for you.
I mean, the frames. I missed them so much.
Yeah, we tried to understand your PowerPoint slideshow of a match. We did our best to interpret what we could out of it.
Yeah, apologies for the half the frames missing. I guess
that's totally fine.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
First of all, let me start by saying this: Game 1 was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't know how much either of you was following the other and watching the restream, but for about 20 minutes, neither one of you were more than a half ahead.
I only had chat open, and I briefly looked when I got to floor 25 to see where Poulet was. I'm like, oh.
I mean, you both hit 15 at the same time. You hit 17 within 20 seconds of each other. You hit 20 within 20 seconds of each other. You hit 25 within 10 seconds of each other, and Poulet beat you by about 9 seconds on 30.
Wow, so really? He was there first.
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't sure, so I made it to 31.
Yeah, exactly. My only thought was with potential stream delay and Poulet not having a timer up, there was no way for sure, but if we needed to, we could have gone back to stream log or direct recording and made a time constraint, but he made it to 31 anyway, so that became a move.
Yeah, no, that's fine, because I was wondering about that, because...
And then Game 2 happened, Shauny. Would you like to give us a few words on that?
I can't. It's a family-friendly stream.
I know.
Honestly, like I said before, in the Speed Game Discord, we were setting things up. I'm like, oh, I might swear if I have to commentate and do my own race. And yes, I'm glad there was no microphone.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stupid... Again, don't get me wrong, I played the best I could, and I still got to, like, what, 23? 23 on Game 2, and I got to, like, 30 on Game 1, so, like, I'm definitely still good, but university and a dog kind of hindered me.
Well, the tower...
I'm going to blame you. Blame the dog.
I don't know who could have done better with that tower setup in Game 2. I really don't. The paralysis that made you lose Kune, that almost...
How was it? Yeah, so I looked at some point and I saw that you lost Kune, but I had no idea how, because, well, I had half of my frames, so I'll let you imagine how the stream was.
No, it was...
Paralysis trap 2 steps away from the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was 2 monsters following me, and then he just got beat down.
Oh, that's a yikes for me.
And then, Poulet, your Kune goes ham on trap.
Yes.
Takes out a volcano and a crossbow troll.
Yeah, I thought he was lost, and then afterwards I realized, hey, I have a familiar bill. Huh.
And then when it happened again and you just immediately broke out the familiar, I was like, oh, okay.
But in the end, since I walked on the second trap like 5 floors later, it was a good point that I did not waste it.
Yes.
Somehow.
I cannot believe he survived, took out 2 monsters, and then you the step necessary to stop him from dying. That was unbelievable.
Yes, I mean, when I saw him fighting, I thought it was the end of it.
Yeah, I thought there was no way you were keeping him at that point.
I'd like to just gloat a little bit. I imagined you the best Holy Scroll usage surrounded by 3 monsters and still use a Balrog as much as possible. I'm super proud of that.
That was good. I was actually way more impressed with your heads-up thinking on Viper play. Tossing that egg down in the bottom of the room.
Well, the thing is, on Game 2, I hatched a Plumpa, because I'm like, oh, I can get these D-heal and transform into a water. I'm like, I don't have the blue collar. I'm like, oh
no. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that's why I was holding on to those stream ones and Blizzard swords, and eventually I'm like, oh.
So, okay. Poulet, I'm sure you'll be happy to know, after outlawing and banning Garuda, Shauny pulled 1 in each game.
Really?
Yep, wow. He pulled 1 in Game 1 and 2, a Garuda egg.
Jeez.
That's why I typed in chat. I'm like, I'm feeling great.
Yeah, he was just super excited. The tower was just beating him down as bad as it could, and then just kind of assaulted him at that point.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had worse luck, but still managed to get that far up into the tower, because I really tried.
Yeah, that was
with the crap that was given to me.
Yeah, I really don't feel like okay, so in Game 2 specifically, and if either of you say that, I don't know if nerves kind of got you guys a little bit, but there were some really, really questionable movements that both of you did in early tours that really kind of had me scratching my head. Specifically, Poulet, with you, when you dropped the blinder ball on that Viper, but then still just tried to fight it from high ground.
Yeah, that was terrible. I wish I could blame the frames, but not really.
It just seemed like really the gravity of the race kind of set in early on in game 2, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I I can't make much excuses for mine. I tried. There are certain things which the thing is, all the items that was given to me, I'm not good with.
Right.
And that showed after a while because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. But at least got a Scarlet one in game 1.
Right. Well, and yeah, you're swapping constantly between Stream and your Copper Sword. Kind of had me scratching my.
The stream is just because when I was doing the math, it's better if Queenie were to, or if I were to use a neutral weapon than hit with a negative like against the Cyclone with the stream.
Right. And that's what I noticed. It ended up being a lot of the times against your win.
Yeah, so it's just unfortunately again, I almost died to a picket, which would have been the biggest irony. Get knocked out of the tournament.
Oh my gosh, that chip damage while you were trying to find your way to the elevator.
Yeah, there's 2 spiders in the picket. So much fun. Both my favorite creatures.
Yeah, right.
Oh well.
Well, with this, Poulet, clearly, like I said, you are the winner. To the winner of Captain Luigi and Don Chad H, which is actually up on Wednesday now. They've actually scheduled their match.
Oh, nice. And then I'm coming for you.
You got to make it there. You got to make it there. And I will say, and I said this in the restream or in the recap, and I can't say this enough. I hope all of your computers die. I don't want to see any of you in finals because this is terrifying. You both showed why nothing is safe in this tournament from here on out.
Oh yeah, first match is 30-31. That's
exactly
normal.
Yeah, right. And then the next match was 23-24, but with the worst, like the most impressive 23 climb I've ever seen. So
I might watch the restream. I mean, or the VOD because I want to see how Shauny went.
Yeah, don't.
It was an experience. It was an experience.
I did the best I could with what I had.
Unquestionably.
The thing is, again, like I pointed,
we're actually on our recap. Our race is over. Oh, I didn't update. Poulet is the winner. I apologize.
Yeah. I was gonna say I did. I did my best. I have no regrets. I'll take a Pokemon line.
Right.
Good luck, like GG to Poulet. But at the same time, someone in chat commented a long time ago. It's like, what's the most important thing you need to run this game? And I said patience. And I was kind of shrugged off. I was like, haha, kind of like, no, seriously. Like you need to actually have a good mentality.
That's what you were referring it to. Okay.
Yeah, I was not upset at all losing either games. It was just funny to see how the tower runs die. This is one of the dumbest RNG based games I run.
Yes.
And it's always funny when I die.
It's
it's the spirit. You cannot be mad at the tower. It's just it was like this time. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
the tower is the entity which wants you dead, and it's only a matter of time before it gets you. Between all the cursed items in the world in game 1 and being stuck with the stream wand and all the bad items for game 2 for me, so that's the tower for me. It's fine.
I do want to say thank you guys both for pushing this back a couple hours so I can make it back and take.
Yeah.
Sorry I was a little late for that, but I'm very glad I was able to watch this unfold in its entirety, both the good and the bad. And thank you as well to Speed Gaming for kind of being so accommodating with pushing this back for us and letting us come right back in with everything. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
Well, thanks for commentating.
No problem.
And thanks for Speed Gaming for hosting us as usual.
Poulet, you've taken up my entire family, technically.
Yes, pretty much.
Ouch. Yes.
You've knocked Fee out of the tournament, and you knocked me out of the tournament. I cannot acknowledge losing to anyone else, so you have to actually win it all.
Right.
All right, fair enough. I will try my best.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys again, and
I will
thank you
honor your
everyone
dead bodies.
And hopefully we will see you all again here on Wednesday for Captain Luigi versus Don Chad 8.
Yep.
Oh yes.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
See you, everyone.
See you.